Peace. Man. Happy now. Now's the vibrate, of course. Not going too far in the future. Not going too far in the past. Right now. Right now I want to speak on getting back to the basics of things, because I see how a lot of things is kind of, people could get a lot of things misunderstood, misoverstood, dealing with the spiritual growth and what's going on right now, because there's a lot of chess moves going on right now, from the government and from the higher ups, from our higher self, ancestors, down to the point where I realized, we won't get certain, so say for instance, certain downloads is held back from us for the reason that, say for instance, it might not be time for a certain download. Like, say for instance, how I'm realizing now we getting the downloads to be more stern and to express, to see that nothing is wrong with expressing anger, because now this is the perfect time for this. Say for instance, at the beginning of our growth, when we were just coming from out of our ego, that wouldn't have been a perfect time to teach us about anger, in essence, in a divine light. It's like, wait, hold on, let them get away from anger generally, and then, they could walk into the anger in the divine light. So you see how, downloads is, a chess game is, placed at a certain point, that's right for the certain situation. But I want to get to this situation, and just because I think we tend to forget this. Please, y'all, realize that we can do whatever we want, in the essence of, we manifest everything according to our perception. And I think we tend to forget this, when we get all into, talking about the vegan foods and this and that, and, eating health and all this. I think we tend to forget that, hey, the placebo effect is real. Like, our perception modes, like how we respond to the outside conditions is, what molds the way, we operate, in essence. So, I had to bring this up because I see the side, the chess game, basically, where, all right, we couldn't kill them with the meat and this and that, but now they gonna identify themselves in an egotistical way, but thinking that they're being spiritual, you know what I'm saying? So here it is that they're gonna still be attacked, because it's the thing. It's about being attached to the matrix. It's not about being healthy. That's not what gets you, away from. That's what I get. Excuse me. That's not how you get out of this matrix. It's not from just being healthy on a human standard. You know what I'm saying? It's about your soul being able to ascend without holding on to anything in this matrix. So say for instance, if you were a vegan, or if you were a black person, or a white person, or a Indian person, or I'm a Chinese person, then when you're crossing, so when it's time to transition, all those ideas and things you identify with is going to be stuck in your auric field, is going to be attached to you. And when you're going to go to try to move to a higher dimension, you won't be able to say, like, oh, wait, hold on, let me take a little shower right quick, and all right, now I'm ready. Like, nah, you know what I'm saying? You need to not be attached to these things right now, you know what I'm saying? Because this is being stained within your being, Because I just came across a study that showed, basically they thought that DNA and genes control things, but it's all our perception. They did an experiment where, because a lot of scientists were saying, like, the nucleus is like the brain, so they did an experiment where they took the nucleus out, in essence took the genes out, and the cells are still operating, and they realized it's not the genes that basically, how I said, collective time. Yeah, perception controls genes and behaviors, and not DNA. It's the response to outside conditions. So it's your perception that control your DNA, or your genes and behaviors. You know what I'm saying? What you're taught, and that's one of the things that, again, chess game is like, all right, well, if they get through this, we're going to attach them to, you know, have them to have pride in being an African or being black or being native or being this, you know what I'm saying? But to a level where they're going to embrace it on a human level and tie themselves into the matrix still, you know, thinking like in their head, like, oh yeah, I'm being spiritual, I'm standing up for my cause, but you still identifying yourself in the matrix, and that's a lower vibration, you know what I'm saying? Period. You know, it's like, it's a science to it. It ain't like, well, you know, this, like, nah, if you hold yourself to, if you feel that you are attached to anything in this matrix, that is how can I say, that attaches to your auric field, to your vibration, you know, and it kind of lowers your high vibration, because you can't, because in essence too, that's a fearful vibration, to feel like you gotta be here to, you know what I'm saying? It's like you're scared to leave, you know. It's like, nah, you know what I'm saying? And fear on any level is a lower vibration, you know. That's why your genes, well, speaking of genes, but like why you, you know, people that vibrate on a lower level don't operate, you know, on a maximum level, because they wavelength, you know, moving like this, fear, slow, you know. But again, and another thing too, this where our own, you know, the people who we may look to for information is now maybe possibly becoming a threat by still coaching us. Like, if a person not helping us to realize every day that we create our own reality, you know, like literally, if you, like, say for instance, again, I always speak on that, I have the ability to fly, but if a lot of people around me not believing in it, you know, it's the perception of the collective, you know. That's another thing too. Collective conscious somewhat dictates our abilities. So say for instance, we could walk around eating whatever you want. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to be no vegan. You know, like, this is a matrix. We playing a game right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't forget that. You know. But the thing is, it's a collective, and this would, so the people on the opposing side know how the collective consciousness works. So they know if we brainwash a bunch of people to believe in this type of lower vibration, it's going to kind of bring the whole collective of, you know, of our existence to that vibration. You know, like, say for instance, like how they do with AIDS and cancer. If they could make a more than the majority of the world believe that is so serious, then it will become play. You know, it will become serious. It will become something, because everybody holding that perception that thing is real. You know what I'm saying? The moment that a majority of us know that diseases is fake and real, you know, then that will become the more of the collective conscious. Like, I made a joke about, like, things would be like Dragon Ball Z right now if everybody like knew, you know, believed in our flying capabilities and our way we could move chi energy and stuff like that. It all depends on the collective, you know. So, like, as much as it's good to eat healthy and vegan food, that's only because the collective mostly believe in it, you know what I'm saying? So now it becomes a reality, you know, and that's why I kind of stay nimble with that. Like, I know we don't have to eat a certain thing. Like, and all honesty, we don't even have to eat, you know what I'm saying? Like, we are vibrations on the human experience, you know, and never forget that, because I'm starting to see how a lot of newcomers coming in and they don't really know that. And plus, honestly, point blank period, all the stuff on our, like, and I'm speaking for all people, and not speaking for them, but in essence speaking on the situation where, you know, a lot of us got all these videos speaking on the Anunnaki, meditation, all these different things, you know, or just all these different subject matters, whether it be socially, you know, or esoteric, whatever. But point blank period, this world is all about what you perceive, and you can manifest whatever you want, but it's up to your perception. Point blank period. Nothing more, nothing less. And that's the big secret, you know, because in essence too, when you think about it, that's knowledge that shouldn't be for people who's in their ego. You know what I'm saying? Because, like, oh, all right, I can do what I want, but then you're in a place from your ego. So that's why, you know, that type of knowledge, how can I say, in essence, was considered something to be like dangerous to expose that, you know, but it was more of just considered dangerous because the people who, you know, were in power in essence want to control people. So it's like, shit, you know, we want to keep things in control. We can't let people know that they could manifest whatever they want. This, like Lucy in Limitless, they gave you a flash of that, you know what I'm saying, to let you know that you are limitless, you know what I'm saying, but it's all off of your perception. So that's why, so too, gotta also y'all gotta realize how to peep the dogmatisms in. I'm spiritual and I'm not religious, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh, I don't belong to a religion. Well, just because you don't belong to a religion and just because you don't have a name for the way you carry yourself spiritually doesn't mean you're not being dogmatic about your approach, you know what I'm saying? So all the dogmatism, doing things just because somebody else said, like, follow your heart. That's another thing right now. It's supposed to be following our heart, point blank, period. And not the heart like what they trick you into thinking, like the heart that deals with love, like, oh man, I followed my heart got broken. That's not your real heart. Your heart is your inner intuition that connects you to source. Your heart, if you, like me, being in the Catholic Church, your heart was that voice that told you, the hell, I gotta go to confession when I could talk to God anytime. That's your heart. Not, oh, she looks good, I'm lusting over her, or he looks good, I'm lusting over. It's not that. That's not love, you know what I'm saying? That's a different type. It's not the love we talking about, not the unconditional love that deals with, you know, that universal love, I should say. And that's another thing too. So again, your DNA, your genes and your behavior is not controlled by your DNA, but by your perception. If I perceive I could be a millionaire, if I could perceive that I could fly, if I could perceive that, you know, I could shoot chi energy out of my hand, if I could perceive it, you know what I'm saying? But you got all these people like, oh, around you like, hey, I gotta pay the bills, I gotta be human, I gotta eat at McDonald's, I gotta go get a flu shot, I gotta go to the doctor, I gotta pay my bills. Being around all that shit is locking you in, you know. And that's when the people you love start to become agents in essence, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's when, you know, that energy is trying to pull other energies down with it, you know, because it's not trying to be by itself. You know, misery loves company. But and right now too, why I'm bringing this up, because it's most important. I realize that right now we do have the opportunity to mold our perception. Right now, you know, you have the chance to say, all right, I let go of attaching myself to a certain walk of life. Like, that's why I tell people Rastafari is something that I, you know, path that I walk, but I don't identify as none of that. I don't identify as nothing but a vibration from source. You know what I'm saying? That's what I am. I am. You know what I'm saying? Because when you go to identifying with all these things, you lock yourself in the matrix. So as holy as it sounds, and that's what a dogmatism and all this gonna get you locked in the matrix. It's beautiful as it sounds to, you know, in the camaraderie of Rastafari, brethren, this and that, and you know what I'm saying? Like, don't lock yourself in. When you walk through these things, walk through it knowing that you are a vibration, just experiencing this as a human, you know. Like, that's the vibe I maintain with it. I'm able to say it was blessings, you know, I, this and that. But in my head, I'm like, hey, you playing the Matrix game. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not like, oh, I am, yes, my lineage comes from, no, I know now. I know the big thing. I know the situation. And again, even with me saying this, you don't have to believe me, trust your heart, you know what I'm saying? But this is me speaking from my heart, seeing what, you know, what I'm seeing going on around me. And it's like, all right, I'm seeing that it's a double chess move being played. It's like, because now I see how the government, I'm feeling the energy that the government, they're not getting comfortable, but I could feel like, all right, a second part of their little chess game is kind of keeping us at bay a little second. That's that identification stuff, you know. And I mean, look at it. I mean, you could see it even in the, you know, in the melanated community, you know, where it's like, oh, I'm this tribe, I'm that, I'm Moorish, I'm Rasta, I'm there, and then it kind of creates like a separation. I'm Muslim, y'all. It's like identification with anything on a physical level, you know, it's the separation. But again, it's all off of perception. As a matter of fact, 'cause I got this information where I came across some videos, with especially one video that broke down, like, you know, how they did the experiments and they took out the nucleus of the cell and how the cell still operated without, because again, because they compared the nucleus to being like the brain. But if you take out our brain, you know, our body stops, you know what I'm saying? But when you take out the nucleus of the cell, it kept going, because the nucleus of the cell is not like the brain. It's more of the nucleus is more like the gonad, you know, the reproduction situation. So the nucleus couldn't be the control center if the cell still lives and operates without it, you know what I'm saying? So basically that pointed out also that genes does not control biology, you know? So our genes do not control, that's the biggest thing. So it's like, all right, we can't get them here, but they show love, their heritage. They you know, when they gonna come to wake up, you know, they gonna be grabbing to their heritage to you know, to bring themselves forward. So we're gonna put the little trap, we're gonna put the little minesweeper around their heritage and their culture, you know what I'm saying? So when they run to that, you know, and picture yourselves running to you. I picture people running to, like, you know, a coach or whatever. If you could picture somebody just running to a certain area and then they smile and poof, like number bombs go off, you know what I'm saying? Like what looked pretty, you know, wasn't, you know what I'm saying? And that's another thing to that situation, you know, clinging on to these identities, you know, it's going to hold us to the matrix. But at this point, I'm going to let this be like, you know, to each his own, you know, on that situation. As far as, you know, how serious you want to take it. Because I look at myself, you know, I'm playing the game, you know what I'm saying? Like I still do things that may seem like I'm identifying, or even playing around enough to kind of you know, say for instance be unconscious, quote unquote, for, you know, a couple of minutes or so, you know what I'm saying? But I always catch myself. That's where the meditation come in. But you know, you definitely want to be careful with being locked in the matrix, and also now knowing that, you know, it's your perception that controls your genes and your DNA. It's your perception that activated. And I'm one of them virgins too. Well, again, y'all know me. I get information. I feel it. If I feel it's real and I don't get that hell no about the information, or I get like, hell yeah, deliver this to the people, and I do it, you know. And I may not have all the X's and O's and be like, you see, this is how that gene move to this one. Like, I'm guilty. I don't have all that for you right now. So I just got words. Because another thing too, at this point, it's like I'm feeling like, you know, like the personification of Moses in the Bible. Like, look, I'm going to give you these things. I'm going to deliver this message from source. You could either rock with me or you don't. You know what I'm saying? You could either be like, well, Moses, what is? Well, Moses, what that? Matter of fact, that sounded like some old nigga. Sounded like some Negroes complaining with Moses, man. And you really look at the context of that, bro, that's just like some old complaining that Negroes. Like, man, show us this. We've been out here for 40 nights, man. Why you can't show us this? Why you can't show us that? And Moses like, God, bro, look. These ungrateful so-and-sos asking me to make all this stuff pop up, and I can't, man. What you want me to do? Fuck it, man, you can't save them. Curse them. You know what I'm saying? Ungrateful bastards. Now we here. And again, part of those stories are allegories, so it's, you know, not necessarily people in the context of the way the Bible put it, but as above, so below. If the energy exists, you know, on some type of level, then it did exist on some type of human level. It's just these names and certain places, you know, that and certain things to the stories that they kind of changed up that may not be, you know, the real thing. But that's basically it. And also another information from the video is not me, but I spoke on like if genes control biology, then we would have to be at least 120,000 genes to make a human. And then they too, because he talked about like after the Human Genome Project, they found out that the body had 35,000 genes, you know. But basically realizing again that the nucleus is not like the brain, but more like the gonads, and that our genes don't or like the DNA don't dictate our behavior in essence, but it's more of our perception that controls our genes and behaviors, you know what I'm saying? What you perceive. If you perceive that you could do this, that, or the other, then you can. If you perceive that you know, like point blank period, we lock ourselves into our own perception. That's all I want to get across to everybody, is to not forget that, you know, because again, we make these videos like I laughed the other day. I made a video about I did a video on pendulum, and I asked the pendulum you know, if it's possible for us to eat whatever we want without no you know, without nothing bad happening to us, without any harmful backfire. And the pendulum was like, yeah, you could eat whatever you want. I'm like, and when somebody commented under my video like, like the pendulum said you could eat meat. I'm like, yeah. And so I always tell everybody that, I'm like, you know, again, it's the collective consciousness, because the collective consciousness is like, oh, meat is harmful, or, you know, I don't want to harm an animal on that level, or, you know, whatever, because we agree to these things, not only on the collective now, but a lot of these things we wrote up and agreed to before we came, like, as we were, you know, creating the physical matrix. In essence, you know, there's a lot of things that we wrote up, like, all right, the conditions of the matrix is gonna be dealing with the collective. So y'all, you know, if you want the conditions to be a certain way, you gotta move the collective. I mean, and it makes sense. I mean, look at what the Catholic Church was trying to do. It was like they was trying to have everybody believing in fake Jesus, and they would have if they you know, moved on the collective. You know what I'm saying? So that's the whole thing, is the collective believing in being vegan and all that. So yeah, you know, you have to eat healthy to that extent, because, you know, because the vibrational programming around you is on that frequency, you know what I'm saying? Kind of like trying to fly around a bunch of people that, you know, it's the same thing. So it's like me, like, and that's why the brethren Bobby Hemmett get like that bad backlash, you know, which I keep it real. He was just early in the game, and he was, I done been in that place where you try to make things, you know, like, man, nah, this the real shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, really let people know, but in the back of your head, kind of knowing, I probably could, you know, back off a little bit, you know what I'm saying? But like, say, for instance, how the brother used to be like, oh, yeah, I catch a little cold, this or that. I could drink an orange soda, you know, and that clear right up, you know what I'm saying? Like, and that's real stuff. But the thing is though, you got to be careful. I think it's a balance of that, like knowing that, yes, you can do those things, but also, again, the collective consciousness that's around you also, you know, hinders that situation as well. And it kind of affects that situation, you know, because I, like, honestly, like, you know, if your brain's strong enough, you could, you know, your brain do the alchemy, you know, your perception, you know, subconscious perception. But I could take some motor oil and be like, all right, this some chaga mushroom elixir, you know what I'm saying? And then it'll do the same thing that a chaga mushroom elixir do. Disclaimer, I'm not telling nobody to drink motor oil. Disclaimer, I am not telling anybody to do and drink or do any and all things. I'm just speaking on some information. But you know what I'm saying? Like, it's all your perception. So with that being said, all that, when you saying, like, that's why I say I choose to eat healthy. That's very important, because you locking yourself in that matrix. When you say, oh man, I have to be vegan, I have to eat this, then when a little bit of something that's not that comes into your diet, you're gonna damn near half die. Matter of fact, Bobby Hemmett spoke to that, where he had a brother who was so healthy. He's like, man, that brother, you know, just look at something outside of a raw vegetable, and he would get sick because he didn't, you know, place himself in that little box of like, all right, everything has to be this healthy, you know what I'm saying? It's the only way for me to move forward is for things to be this healthy. Bam, you boxing yourself in perception. You know, the only way I could do this is if I have a business card, and if I have this person to scratch my back to the left side when I do, bam, and that's the only way you could do that. You know what I'm saying? The only way for me to start a YouTube channel is if I get a computer program where I could put graphics up and this and that. And then the only way I could do it is if I get a microphone and one of the best cameras. And then, you know, that's the only way you could do it, you know. I didn't lock myself in that perception. So here it is that I got 11,000 subscribers and videos with over 72,000 views, and don't have none of that. It's your perception. And that's why you see the importance of staying away from people and their perceptions. Like, we are walking universes, and we all have certain perceptions or rules within our galaxy. And if you're around another universe or you're in another dimension for too long, you end up picking up on that vibration, you know what I'm saying? So you want to be careful how you visit other people's dimensions or universes, because, on some as above, so below stuff, get caught up in that vibration of their universe and mess up with yours. But that's just the basic thing, is because again, that's what being too aware get us in trouble too. Because like, oh, we're so smart, so let's label this, logic, and again, that's locking us down in the matrix. We're gonna have balance with logic, but it's gonna move through our intuitive heart space first, and then, we receive some type of inspiration from our higher self, then we apply logic to whatever situation, logic needs to be applied to. But this is, again, perception. And a reason for me too, I find it important to share on this level, because everybody be so busy politicking, the Hunger Games. It's real Hunger Games. Gotta tell people, man, like, anybody who associating with identities, like the conscious black community, white people, Hindu people, all these different little like that. Like, cause even people don't get, like, when I just made a post the other day with the song "Every Nigga Is a Star," and I'm pretty sure, like, I know when a lot of things don't get likes, I know something's going on there. But my thing is too, like, is for me though, is a balance, you know what I'm saying, where I'm that person who's raising the vibration. I'm also reaching that little hand out to people who have, that's just kind of rubbing them eyes, like, what's going on? You know what I'm saying? Like, just waking up. So it's reaching to pull those people up, but I don't identify. I don't let that be an identity. You know what I'm saying? When I look to my lineage and my heritage, I look to vibrations. I look to the stars. I look to the cosmos, the unseen energies. Is my origins. All of our origins. But again, your perception controls genes and behaviors, and not your DNA. So, like, oh, I'm such and such, I'm this kind of person, I'm that, you know what I'm saying? And right now, again, we have the chance to model our perception to whatever we, believe, you know what I'm saying? It's what you believe. That's point blank, period, that's it. Like, bottom line. And there's no right or wrong, it's your perception, you know what I'm saying? Like, as long as you're walking in the divine light of unconditional love, and in essence, not trying to harm anyone, like, you're just not walking around trying to take others' free will away and harm nobody. You can do what you want. Like, that's the period, you know what I'm saying? Like, I just had to, share it, just plain and simple on that level, and add a little science behind it too, everybody like science, intuition, like a little logic, with the smoothness of that feminine energy. But perception, and that's the biggest game. They know that your perception is what makes or breaks your reality. You know what I'm saying? You believe that is a flu epidemic going around, and guess what? It is one going around. If you believe that you become a movie star, if you believe that you could make a spaceship that could fly us to the next 12 dimensions, you could do it. You know what I'm saying? It's all off of you. And that's another thing too, pushing our minds to that next level too, on dealing with that type of stuff. But that's a whole nother subject. But again, I just definitely want to share that with y'all, man, that it is your perception, not your DNA. You know what I'm saying? And I just caught that, again, I caught the download, but it's more of a download to say, hey, look at this video, break down this, so you could get more of a understanding that, you know, of how our perception runs things and not our DNA. So I'm like, all right, cool. Because by fact, that's another thing. I just wanted to share this on that type of level, but I didn't want to go deep into it, because again, if I don't get deep into like the research, and I don't like to really too much share the numbers or the thing, you know, I just let it be my tablet information, you know what I'm saying? So, but that's basically it. And two, a reminder, another thing that was discovered, that love exceeds nutrition. You know, they did experiments showing, you know, like where you just show something love, and you know, it still gets that nutrients. That's why a lot of people, and you're wondering why some people eat unhealthy, like say for instance Asian food, perfect example, like some of the saltiest MSG type of food ever, but they living healthier in a more balanced mind frame. Why? Because they preparing their food with love, you know, that's family oriented, you know, they meditate and do other things that keep them balanced, you know what I'm saying? So that keeps them, you know, like the love and how they prepare their food, and outside of that, you know, things to bring love into the body, like meditation and, you know, certain breathing techniques, you know what I'm saying, that changes that. But love exceeds nutrition. That's why, like I spoke on, like you get something that may not be healthy but still eat it, you know. But yeah, it's all on perception. Again, because I'm a scientist. Matter of fact, I ate meat, what it was, 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago. I had some type of little dish with some meat in it. And guess what? I'm here to tell you, I'm a survivor. I'm a survivor. I made it. But nah, it's all perception. And two, that's why I ate it. It's like somebody gave it. It was hot. It was love, and then download. Because it's, again, another thing most important before I leave this video, because it may be about to close, is we're moving in the heart space. It's about love. It's about when I got handed that dish, my logic say, hey, logically you're a vegan, and logically you're going to look bad to other vegans who are being logical. But my heart said, bro, it's warm. This person gave this with love. This is love vibrations in here. So I ate it. I said a little omens. I gave a little testament to the animals involved. I'm like, man, blessings to y'all, man. Allow me to deal with y'all in this manner, man. I'm gonna bless y'all bodily energy, you know, and send it to a higher place. Like, cool. But, you know, I ate. So it's just something, you know what I'm saying? I'm not this person. That's another thing. I'm not with the politics, man. If anything you get from this channel is about, I'm just a real truth seeker. I'm not trying to just politic and say what seems right, or I say what feels right, and I express what I feel. I don't express what I think.